Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a powered cube draft on MTG Arena. I thought I was done with these, so did you, but as always, any cube draft could be my last. And the last one wasn't it. I thought the last one was going to be my last, but then I had an unceremonious 0-3 with a mediocre draft with pretty bad play. Wasn't happy with it. We can't end on an L like that. This pack has a fetch land, a dual land, a Gitaxian Probe, 3 different counterspells, the counterspell and the strictly better counterspell. I will be taking Mana Drain here and not really feeling too bad about it. We've got a stock up, a Mystic Confluence, cheap interaction in the form of Flame Slash. I will not be taking a generic creature removal spell over something like stock up or Mystic Confluence. Confluence is one of those old school cube cards, kind of like Dak Faden, I think I'd put in the same bucket, where it used to be like, God damn, there it is. That's a banger. And now it's just sort of like fine in a card you can play. Stock up, definitely a banger. Mana draining into stock up is a thing. Mana draining into Mystic Confluence. I guess technically you could also spend 2 mana to draw 3 cards. I'm just going to take stock up and be pretty happy about it. Hey, there he is. We called him out. Say his name and he'll appear. Mind Twist is an exciting card to ramp into. Underworld Breach. I want Breach to be a thing so bad. Breach is one of these things that's like very difficult to interact with. It's banned in almost every format for a reason, but you need specific payoffs for it. You need Brain Freeze alongside Black Lotus, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, and or Frantic Search. Do I want to try to push for combo? There's also a Mind Twist here, which I'm pretty happy about. Miscalc's great. There's a bunch of dual lands. I'm going to take Breach. Getting a powerful combo card this early, I'm usually pretty happy about. Maybe I don't play it, but I at least know I have it. Flame. That's some looting. That's a way to move cards around while applying damage. Remand. Another 2-mana counterspell. 2-mana counterspell, that's a lot better when I'm doing something than when I'm dirtling. I think Flame and Remand are my serious considerations here. I'm going to go with Flame. I love an Overlord of the Baelmerk. Big fan of that card. Basically no creatures in my deck currently. Skydiver keeps me blue. Aether Spellbomb keeps me blue while starting to support things like Tinker or Tolarian Academy that could show up in Pack 3, and I'd really like to support if I can look at them. Overlord is such a banger, though. I love this card so much in basically all formats. It does also feed Underworld Breach. Pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to take this Overlord. It's in the maybe pile. Shelldock Isle, Vaultborn Tyrant. Shelldock Isle can set up all sorts of cool stuff. Vaultborn Tyrant, great show and tell, great flash, great reanimate target. Trinket Mage could be another Lotus Petal, LED, or Black Lotus if I find one of those and try to bring Underworld Breach together, but I kind of want one of those before I start messing with that. Currency Converter, all the same things I said about Aether Spellbomb apply here. Enables Tinker, enables reanimate stuff. I think I want the Shelldock Isle, though. Nadu, though, it's early enough to consider that. I do also have Volcanic Island available. Displacer Kitten is a card that I love, but has been betraying me in these arena drafts. I'm going to ignore it, even though I do think it's good. Do I want to take a 3rd potential splash on a 3rd potential splash color, or just take the Volcanic Island to enable Underworld Breach if we get there? Yeah, I think I'm on that Volk. A bunch of green lands. Consider. Duelist. I'm going to take Consider. Wow, Counterspell wheeled all the way back to me, so did 3 Steps. Well, Counterspell is better than 3 Steps at being a counterspell, but 3 Steps is better at being a looting or a counter or a copy. Like, I could just diversify on the strength of already having Mana Drain. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to be a baby and just take the better card. Bank Buster. Oh, okay, here we go. Flame Slash came back around to me. I thought about that the first time, and if I end up Is It spells, it's pretty good. Wow, Mind Twist. And Miscalc. Every card I thought about the first time around is here. This Lightning Grief still kicking around with that Nadu in the pack that I didn't take. I'm not going to feel bad about that. But, so I could take Mind Twist, which is the most vintage card here that I'm not currently supporting, or I could take another counterspell. I already have 2 counterspells. I'm taking Mind Twist. Getting vintage with it. This is a tapped Underground Sea. I don't love tapped, but I do love Underground Sea. And Aether Spellbomb came back around with some stuff I'm not going to play. Currency Converter came back around. Whoever begrudgingly plucked that Nadu out of that pack late is going to be pretty stoked to get those Lightning Greaves. Wowie. And I got my son Displacer Kitten back. What do we got here? Mishra's Workshop, I'm not doing anything with that. Archon, I'm not doing anything with that. Balance, I don't have a lot of creatures in my deck. Balance is okay. Prof's Memory rips really hard. Urza's Saga with 2 tutors for it. I think I'm going to take Saga here. There's nothing here that specifically is a control win con except for the Urza Saga. And there's nothing that helps me enable Underworld Breach. Saga it is. Get in there. Force of Will. Love to see it. A bunch of red removal spells. I like those too. Tez can get Currency Converter or Spellbomb. There's also Soul Guide Lantern and Chromatic Star in the pack. I'd be happy to wheel either of these. I think I'm more interested in Soul Guide Lantern than Chromatic Star, but I am taking Force of Will now. This cheap interaction to make sure I don't get run over early is always something I'm interested in. Verdant Catacombs, that fetches Zagoth Triome, and other colors that I don't actually want to play in my deck. Grief, Persist, Robber of the Rich, Oko. Man, I do have this Zagoth Triome. There's Ugin, big dumb control win con, but right now I'm actually just tapping 7 lands to cast it, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. Is it better or worse than trying to support Oko off of a Singer's Zagoth Triumph? Though right now, I guess Mind Twist is more of a tiebreaker than anything else. I will actually take the Verdant Catacombs. Narset's good. Retrofitter's great. Jace is fine. Yeah, Retrofitter, another giant hit out of Urza's Saga. Narset enables me to draft wheels highly, though. I think between Bauble, Retrofitter, and Shadowspear, there's a good chance I get something back that I'd want out of this pack. Hey, look at this. Echo of Eons immediately in the next pack. Is this something I want to do compared to Karn Scion, which is just a great way to spend 4 mana in a mildly artifact-themed blue deck? I can mill over the Echo with Overlord. That's kind of cool. Or discard it with Flame. I actually think Karn is better, but I'm going to go for the cool thing here. Time Spiral as well. We're getting paid all over town. I'm definitely taking Time Spiral. I like that one better than Echo, and I just took Echo. Watery Grave, sad to see it go. That's a blue source that I can hit off of Verdant Catacombs. That's actually great for my deck, but I'm doing cool shit. Teferi Time Raveler. This is very close to a combo. I have no white mana. I might just have to take Undercity Sewer. Ooh, Ponder's pretty good, though. The fetchable black versus Ponder that can look for more stuff. Ponder also triggers Displacer Kitten. The Teferi with Displacer Kitten, combined with the Mishra's Bauble that's going around, and potentially any Mox I open in pack 3, that's an infinite combo. I'm going to take Ponder, though. Underground Sea, look at that. Rewarded for my faith. Who needs that Undercity Sewers? I got the real one. Slam that right in the pile. Here's my first pack back. Prof's Memory is, I think, the only remotely defensible card here. Memory Jar, not really a combo with Narset, because they just don't draw cards, and then they discard the cards they didn't draw and get their old hand back. I could spec on Mishra's Workshop, but with 2 wheels, Prof's Memory is pretty messed up. Tez and Star are back. Who would I rather have? Star helps shred through my deck and can fix me into whatever splashes I end up with. Yeah, I actually think Star is better. Sword of Fire and Ice, Portal to Phyrexia. I'm going to take Portal just in case I open a Tinker in pack 3. JVP versus Shadowspear. I think it's Jace. That was the Retrofitter Foundry. Didn't come back. Didn't really expect it. That card's pretty good. Yo! Alright. Well, blue artifact shit is open. If anyone's getting it, it's me. And even a Is It Duel at the end. Mana Crypt, you'll love to see it showing up in pack 3. This Underworld Breach is not even close to supported right now. I'm probably just going to slam this Mana Crypt, but thinking about what I'd like to get back around, Sleight of Hand, Cryptic Command, Force and Negation are all cards I would play. Yeah, give me Mana Crypt, please. Right now, I'm a blue deck with a small black splash for 2 cards. I have access to as much red mana as I do black. Preordain, Skull Clamp. I don't have the Retrofitter to go with Skull Clamp. I'm not doing anything with Show and Tell. Bloodstained Mire. gets Volcanic Island or Underground Sea. That does it all. Preordain is fine. I am taking Bloodstained Mire. I want to make sure I can cast my spells. Mightstone and Weakstone is a card I like in decks like this one. Dig Through Time is fine. I could support Expressive Iteration. I don't think I want to. I love Mightstone and Weakstone with Displacer Kitten. It's just one of the things that pops off with it. In a deck with enough cheap artifacts, you can draw 6, 8, 10 cards in a turn. Time Warp, Fractured Identity, Mox Diamond, Pentad Prism, Shieldred's Edict. I have no white mana. I have one Chromatic Star that can make white mana. I have no fetches nor fetchables that can turn on white. I'm not taking Fractured Identity. I actually think it's Shieldred's Edict. I am flushing out this black splash a bit, and I will be having the black mana in my deck. Frantic Search, oh no. That almost turns on Underworld Breach. I don't have a win condition with that, though. I passed Jace Wielder already. I haven't seen Thassa's Oracle. There's 3 more packs left. I would love Agatha's Soul Cauldron, just as passive graveyard hate. That's also an artifact that does stuff. I'm taking Frantic Search. I'm keeping the dream alive. Show me a Brain Freeze or a Thassa's Oracle, and I'll do it. What the hell? Minskin Boo. You'll pick 6. And Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh my god. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I'm panicking. Oh, Psychic Frog is also... I think Psychic Frog is on par with Minskin Boo, and then Lion's Eye Diamond is just going to support a splash combo that may or may not actually come together. Psychic Frog slamming that into the pile. Not even thinking about it any further. Malcolm, Thirst, Map. I don't have an Academy. It's probably just Malcolm. Yeah, Malcolm's in. Tidebinder, Upheaval, Daze, Chrome Host, Seed Shark. I like all these cards. I have Mana Crypt that can make Upheaval busted. I don't have a ton of other fast mana to really crack that. Daze is funny. I rarely take Daze in Cube Draft. Upheaval's in my deck. Ran out of time to think about it. We got Cryptic Command and Sleight of Hand back from that awesome pack 1 that I opened. I have enough going on 1. I think I'd like Cryptic Command. Or I am trying to assemble some combos, and I have a lot of counter spells. I'm taking Sleight of Hand. Changed my mind. Preordain, let's go. That's the same card I just took, but different. EI on the splash or Dig Through Time. I think with this many 1 mana cantrips, Dig Through Time is reasonably supported. Got my Time Warp back. Let's go. May or may not play that, but cool to have it. Soul Cauldron, I wanted that one too. Okay, poor Underworld Breach. Not going to happen. Frantic Search might just be good enough on its own, especially I have Echo of Eons in the deck. Breeding Pool. Do I have any green stuff? And I'm taking the Breeding Pool. I'm just thinking if it does anything. And Dress Down, sure. All right, blue artifact. Well, not even really artifacts, just blue tempo, blue control with some top-end combo-y stuff like Displacer Kitten and Narset with 2 wheels. If Psychic Frog, one of the most powerful individual cards in the cube. This is 49 cards. That's way too many. What is my actual hit rate for Overlord of the Balemark? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 hits for Overlord. All right, Soul Cauldron can be in the sideboard. Time Warp is pretty mid. I might not actually need Spellbomb or Currency Converter. I don't have a Tinker. I don't have an Academy. Those are my velocity for if I get Displacer Kitten plus Mightstone to shred through my deck. But I think I can live without that. 4 is so many 1-mana cantrips for a cube deck. You have 5 if you count Chromatic Star. This deck probably does not need 17 lands. And it definitely doesn't need this many swamps. What are you doing to me, Arena? I have Underground Sea and Zagoth Triome that can be fetched with Bloodstained Mire and Verdant Catacombs. That's 4 black sources without even playing a single swamp. Fiery Islet can just draw a card. I don't need red cards in my deck for that. Volcanic Island could play this Flame Slash if I needed to. I can also cast Flame. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less, and each non-land card in your graveyard has Mayhem. I do have Frantic Search that could discard cards. Interesting. All right, I think Overlord's getting cut. Sorry, I love you. I'm going to cut Upheaval as well. I'm more of a get control and then wheel kind of deck than I am a play from behind upheaval and turn it around kind of deck. If I had an Academy or more fast mana than just Mana Crypt, I would think about it. I think one Swamp, in case I need to fetch it with one of my fetches, is fine, but almost exclusively islands in this deck. I don't need to main deck Dress Down. If anything, that might hurt me because I'm an Urza Saga deck. Oh wait, I did just cut half my hits for Urza Saga. It's a lot to keep track of here. Currency Converter, Aether Spellbomb. I think with all these cantrips, I'm converting enough currency. Jace is also a currency converter, so is Flame, so is Malcolm. I really want to combo off with Prof's Memory. Alright, Frantic Search has finally been cut. Do I have a cut to get one of these Saga targets back in? It would probably be Spellbomb. Saga popping with no payout on the back end feels so bad. But I think the cantrips are just so good, especially with Displacer Kitten and Dig Through Time in the deck, and Prof's Memory. Alright, I'm just going to play with 2 hits for Saga, and we're going to be happy about it. Okay, this is my deck. Let's do it. So I have tragically accidentally joined a best of 1, which I've not done before in this format ever. So I guess for content differentiation, it's worth something. But, yikes. I genuinely think this is a shitty way to play Magic, but I'm signing up for it. This Psychic Frog, I can discard my whole hand, including Echo of Eons, then Echo, and then discard the rest of my hand, and that's a shitload of damage. Dark Ritual. Oh, opponent is gaming. Please cast Doomsday and then just die. Sheoldred. Oh no, that's the opposite of what I wanted. I am in trouble. My whole deck is drawing cards. This is all I do. Why do you hate me? Grief. Alright, well, that's fine. My hand sucks. You can grief me. Interesting to grief me after Sheoldred resolves, though. Good thing I didn't have Force of Will in my hand. Okay, who would win? Psychic Frog versus Sheoldred. Choose your hero. Malcolm's gone. You got it. Draw for turn. I lose some life. I'm going to attack my opponent. If they want to block, I will trade. Okay, they didn't want to do that. So, game on. I will discard Echo of Eons and just take the 1. I didn't play Profs before combat because I was hoping they would just, like, block. But we didn't get that, so I'm just going to take 1,000,000 damage here. Alright. The turn 2 Sheoldred shutting down my turn 3 Goldfish. Ori Steel Cutter. Do we have a spell? No. I go to 10. The fun thing about Sheoldred is that you lose if you play around it, and you lose if you play into it. You simply always lose. Okay. How much can I do? Honestly, very little. I'm going to play Volcanic Island, and I think I'm just going to pass. Because if they want to attack, I will trade Frog for Sheoldred in combat. And if they don't want to attack, I'll end step Dig Through Time and try to find an answer to this thing. Cycling Unearth. That gains 2 life. Right, equipping Ori Steel Cutter. Alright, combat is in. I'm definitely going to block. 1 blocker, and then discard Fiery Islet. Discard Island. Discard Displacer Kitten. Dig Through Time. I should probably leave Echo of Eons in the graveyard. Right, this taps me all the way out. I would like, I guess, Shelldock Isle and Swamp in my hand. I have to discard one of them anyway. Discard Swamp. And my opponent has the busted combo of Trample plus Death Touch, so I'm going to take 4 here. But we are going to play on Shelldock Isle. I guess I want Sheoldred's Edict in here. And do I actually even want to Echo? I don't think so. Alright. Can they deal 4 more damage to me? With Ori Steel Cutter, it's not a difficult task. Barrogoyf Haste. GG. I wish I had a sideboard game to try to figure this out. I'm on the play, and I'm going to keep my 7. This is game 2, which is also round 2. I guess I will put Sleight of Hand under Shelldock Isle. Opponent is a Lutri deck. That's cool. Duress me. Profs and Mind Twist are both interesting takes. I don't think they're going to take Echo of Eons. It took Karn, actually. Cool. I will Profs to cycle and pass the turn. Jadar. This makes a 2/2 with Decayed every end step where they don't already have one of those. Right, I'm going to fetch for Underground Sea first. And I could twist them for 2 here, but I kind of want to hit some land drops. I'm going to Preordain. Ooh, Mana Drain. That's pretty hot, actually. Okay, I'm going to draw Mana Drain and have Island on top of my deck. And I hope they just tap out for some 3-drop here. And if they don't, I can consider in the end step. They attack me for 3, the zombie dies, then they get another one in the end step. That's how Decayed works with Jadar. Alright, end step, I will consider. They did not play a spell. I will keep this island in my hand. Stonks. And now we're in an interesting game of cat and mouse where I can't just take 3 every turn, but they also know I have Mind Twist that I haven't cast yet. This is in my end step. Yeah, I'll drain that. That's a lot of damage I don't want to be taking. Drain for 2 is not that sexy, but we take what we can get, I guess. I'm 1 short of digging through time here. Soul Cauldron. Alright. They can give creatures the abilities of Cathar Commando if they want to blow up my Prof's memory with a creature that's going to die anyway. Makes some sense. Right, Decayed trigger, that means it's going to die at end of combat. So they hit me for 4, then they blow up Profs. Or not. Or just deal 1 to me. Okay. Okay, I get my drain mana, which is only 2. They have 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can leave 1 behind and still play a card this turn. Yeah, I gotta play a card. Alright, we hit Grave Titan, Harvester of Misery, and Life Death. Right, Jace can stabilize versus Jadar. Not really. They have the Soul Cauldron. But I can flip Jace next turn. They have to decide if they want to use Soul Cauldron to push damage or to try to stop me from chasing them. They know I have Echo of Eons in hand and Prof's Memory in play. A Grave Titan exiled. Another counter on another zombie. Okay. They don't seem to understand the timing of being able to attack with that and then also use the other ability. But I'll take it. Take whatever we can get. Lebanur's a Saga. Saga. And then loot with Jace. Counterspell's okay. I will discard this Echo, even though I'm not going to cast it. I've got my opponent down to 1 card in their hand, which is where I'm trying to get to in life. I can Jace targeting Twist, get their hand empty. I could also just cast Stock Up and see where I am. Reprieve. Okay. Do I want to fight over this? I kind of do. Mana Crypt to Malcolm. Mana Crypt's not doing much anymore. Malcolm, welcome. And I'll take this island. Jace, I'm gonna donkey up their zombie. They could use the Soul Cauldron, exile a creature from their own graveyard to kill Urza Saga. But if they're distracted by Echo of Eons, then that doesn't happen. Okay. They were not distracted by Echo of Eons. They are going to destroy Urza Saga. That's fine. We're grinding it back. 1 step at a time. Okay, they put Lutri in hand and played out a plane. So their hand is Lutri. There are 19 cards in my deck, which means I could cast the Sleight of Hand if I want to. Dig Through Time seems a lot better. Dig. I'm going to exile 1, 2, 3. I might want Preordain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there we go. Digging Through Time. Displacer Kitten. Sheoldred's Edict, Force of Will. I love Displacer Kitten. I've got mana. It's probably Sheoldred's Edict. Though Force of Will can make it hard for me to lose. I like when it's hard for me to lose. That means it's easy for me to win. Those are the same thing. I'm going to turn their zombie into a baby. And end the turn. There are no more creatures in graveyard, so Soul Cauldron will probably be used to take out one of my cool spells here. Jace attacking for 1, or Jadar attacking Jace for 1. I can accept that. I don't need to throw away my Malcolm for that. I'll add Malcolm to the board. Now I'm doing something for the first time ever. I drew Fleam / Gobin, and I'm going to attack with Malcolm. Loot this volcanic island. This volcanic island represents Time Spiral, or Gobin / Fleam gives them a creature to exile. Alright, I'll discard the volcanic island and play Displacer Kitten. And then plus on the Zombo, I can Force of Will if I need to, pitching Fleam. They did not activate Soul Cauldron in the end step. Ooh, alright. Now we're cooking. Displacer Kitten plus Mightstone is one of my favorites. How do I want to do this? If I minus Jace, they can exile. If I play Mightstone, I don't even really have anything to flicker. Okay, I'll make the zombie small. I'll play Mightstone. I'll flicker Jace back into Jace, though it's almost a win condition. I'm going to flicker nothing. Just give me Mightstone, and I'll draw 2 cards. I hit a land. Enters tapped. And I'm actually going to no attacks, just pass. Jace could be my win condition here, milling them out. Okay, exiled my Prof's Memory. That was pretty smart. That was a card I was trying to make a long-term plan to wheel into and then win all at once. Uh-oh. Alright, well, there's Narset. I'm going to float 2 mana, play Narset, flicker Mightstone to draw some cards. They're exiling my Echo of Eons in response. Okay. Good idea. I'll draw 2. Psychic Frog, what's up? Activate Narset. Mana Crypt in my hand. That's more cards. And it's mana to cast Time Spiral with. Island, float 2, Mana Crypt, flicker Mightstone. Now I'll start killing stuff. Jadar can die. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana for normal things. That sounds like a good amount. I'm going to cast Time Spiral, and I'm actually going to flicker Narset on this one so I can activate her again. Right, opponent gets 1 fresh card. I get to untap everything, activate Narset again. I'll put Ponder in my hand. Ponder. I'm going to flicker a Mightstone to kill the zombie. -5 the zombie. Ponder this Force of Will into my hand. Plus Jace on nothing. And I can cast Karn. Or, no, I can't. Artifacts, right? Can't be spent on non-artifact spells, sorry. I can't cast Karn. I lied. I lied to everybody. Delete my account. I pay for Karn, flicker Narset. Narset's back, resolve Karn. Make a big. Preordain. Flicker Karn, make another big. And people just let me have this Displacer Kitten. That's crazy. Big. And then I will attack with both my creatures. I do only have 6 cards left in my deck, but I think I can figure it out. I'm not going to activate Narset, passing with Force of Will in hand. And lethal on board. Sweet. That was fun. Alright, the deck did the deck thing. On to game/round number 3. I'm on the play in round 3. I will Island Ponder, keep this hand. Underground Sea, Ponder. I like Karn, I don't like all this other stuff. I am going to shuffle. Alright, Mind Twist. Much more interested in that. A mountain. That could get scary. A Ragavan. Well, I'm scared. Officially scared. Oh. Normally, turn 2 Mind Twist for 3 is good. But under the oppressive boot of Ragavan, I am going to play Fleam and probably just block. Luminarch Aspirant. Okay, so I can't even kill Ragavan anymore. I'm not going to block. Come get some. No blocks. They exiled Prof's Memory from my hand. Disappointing. Alright, well, Flame's not going to block, so I will get my Connive. Discard this Fiery Islet. Nobody's got time for that. Island. Mana Crypt. Twist you for 4. Alright, we gotta try to catch up somewhere. Oh, we hit a Detective's Phoenix, which, they only have 4 evidence, luckily. I don't think I'm winning this game. I'm gonna be real. If there's a path through this, it probably involves Time Spiral. I guess all I really have to do is stabilize versus the Ragavan, right? This is not as far away as it seems, but it does seem really far away. Stoneforge Mystic. What do we got? Batterskull. That one's pretty good. Right, they're piling up on Ragavan, which in some ways is risky because it's your best card, in other ways is smart because I have to answer that to have a chance anyway. All right, Chromatic Star. Pop it for black. Just trying to cycle. Malcolm. I guess I'll cast Malcolm with my floating mana. Attack with Gobin. Discard Zagoth Triome. Or I have enough mana to cast Counterspell anyway. So I'll play this tapped, and I am ready to die. It is my intent to jump block Ragavan with Malcolm. Galvanic Discharge. Counter that. They still only have 5 evidence. Okay, this combat's pretty interesting. They put the counter on Luminarch Aspirant. Okay, so if I go to 5 and give them a flip, I don't love that, but I do like being able to loot 2 times and try to find my way out of this. All right, no blocks. They took my Shelldock Isle. That one wasn't going to help me win the game. I've got some draw 7s in my deck I could flip to. Mostly feels bad, though. Lost my Crypt Flip. Dead to most things at this point. Gonna attack with both my creatures. We are just wheeling and hoping for the best. Okay, Malcolm loots away Island. Gobin connives Sheoldred's Edict. And there is no universe where I survive this turn. Okay, hold up. I could Karn, make a blocker, make them sacrifice a token creature, which would be the Germ. I'm at 2. Yeah, I'm dead. All right. Man, best of 1 sucks. Why do people do this? On to the next round. I wish I could go to my sideboard and like regulate my responses to an aggressive blue-white deck or red-white deck, but I simply cannot. I'm on the draw in round 4. I have a turn 2 Psychic Frog I'm going to keep. Ooh. I have a turn 1 Psychic Frog. Island, Mana Crypt, Chromatic Star, sack this for black, Psychic Frog. Alright, we're in there. Mana Crypt's a cool card. Alright, I have no idea what my opponent's doing. They might just Fatal Push and move on with life here, or they might be completely unable to beat this. Even if they do spend their turn answering Psychic Frog now, I can jam turn 2 Karn. They shocked in Watery Grave, and they have Hymn to Turok. Alright, resolves. They hit Karn and Mind Twist. Lost a Crypt Flip, drew Urza's Saga. I'm going to attack. Mightstone. I like that. Urza's Saga's in. Gobin's in. End the turn. White mana, my arch nemesis. I guess Triome was white. Frantic Search. They are, in fact, frantically searching. That is the feeling of playing against Psychic Frog. Discarding Lingering Souls and Rick Grizzlebrand. All right, they might have something here. If they ever reanimate, that's a way through. Though Mightstone and Weakstone could help me push through a Grizzlebrand. It's 7/7. I could make it 2/2, attack with Frog. I guess I would probably want to do that second. Like attack with Frog, discard 1 card, then -5 it afterwards. Because they just won't block otherwise. Which doesn't work for me. Though if they just flashback Lingering Souls and pass the turn, I'm not going to complain. Hell yeah. Alright, Lingering Souls resolves. That's pretty good at sucking up time versus a Psychic Frog. Sleight of Hand. I don't think I'll be casting that. I'm going to attack with both creatures. If they double block, I'll discard Sleight of Hand to the Frog. Alright, they did double block. Discard Sleight. And it would cost me all of my mana to play the Mightstone. Ooh, stock up versus Time Spiral. How do I want to play this game? Time Spiral is a massive burst of damage through Psychic Frog. Stock up is just raw card advantage. Both of my hits for Urza Saga have been spent. I think I'm going to discard Time Spiral and pass with Saga making friends. Toxic Deluge for 5. So that kills this, even if I discard all my cards. Okay, it resolves. And we settle into... Oh, I could have sacked Fiery Islet. I might have blown it. Yeah, I could have sacked Fiery Islet and beat that Deluge. That would have been so sick. Playing fast and loose, it's fine. It's just best of 1. Every game matters. Prof's Memory, a Heater. All right, make another construct. Tutor nothing. Sad. Prof's memory. Hit my land drop. Gas up the fella who can fight and put my opponent to 6, I hope. Okay. Flying by the skin of my ass here, but I am still ahead. They're at 6, so the reanimates and life deaths, those don't work anymore. Animate dead would have to be the thing. Even if they get Grizzlebrand, they can't draw cards. JVP, you know me. Lost my crypt flip, Malcolm, and all this other shit. Okay, I think I want to cast Mightstone here. I could double spell if I stock up into Malcolm. They have to block anyway. All right, yeah, I'm going to stock up, actually. Preordain and Island. The Island might seem like a weird choice, but I have Prof's memory in play, so that matters. Oh, hell yeah. Counterspell to my hand, Island to the bottom. Move to combat. Make my other one bigger. Petty Theft, no thank you. And now they can't activate Deathrite this turn, which means they're just going to have to block one of these things. Jace has to be better than Deathrite here, I think. You chump with Deathrite, untap with Jace, who can flip. That gives you a frantic search. And then you are frantically searching from 2 life for something to do. Here we go. Okay, we did it. Got away with that one. Behind the strength of Mana Crypt. Is that card good in Cube? I'm not sure. On to the next round. I'm on the play in round 5. This is why you put cantrips in your deck, so you can keep hands like this. I'm going to start with Preordain. It sees the most cards in a straight line. All right, red that to the bottom. This is a hand that can set up dig pretty quick, but I'd rather actually hit a spell. Stock up. I am spinning my wheels like a boss. Plains, Giver of Runes. I don't think I'm going to Force of Will that. Sleight of Hand. Kitten versus Jace. Guess it's Jace. And then I'll Ponder. Prof's Memory. Malcolm Star. Okay, yeah, I'll put Malcolm in my hand. I'm not going to shuffle. Just racing them out with Prof's Memory, I think, is how I'm doing this. Giver of Runes getting a taste. Love to see it. That means they don't have a creature. It's got to. Or not. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card as long as you control this creature. And then the back has some Jeskai activation ability. They found their next land drop. How do I want to do this? I could stock up now. Yeah, I guess that's just the answer. Mind Twist Narset. I think it's Narset and Gobin. I've got lands. I'm trying to set up a Prof's Memory where my creatures are bigger than theirs. Detective's Phoenix. This is a 2/2 haste. Malcolm can get bigger than that, I guess. It's a lot of damage. I feel this league just ending in front of my eyes, but we are going to mash it out here. I could Profs to make Jace 1/3, which is bigger than Nia and Giver. Okay, I am going to do that. Gotta trust in the Force of Will. This will hopefully slow down some of the damage that's coming my way. Prismatic Ending. Well, I need this card in play, so it's force time. I think I have to exile. Is it Narset or Gobin? I think it's Gobin. Oh no, they're still responding. If they have Mana Tithe, I'm so cooked. Reprieve. All right, well, that hurts, but I can still cast this spell. The old 1,000,000 for 1. Yeah, Narset is not going to be good enough here. It will take 2 damage from Detective's Phoenix. They have 3 evidence in the graveyard. Get Urza's Saga running and pass with everything available. Oh, I could flip Jace now, plus on something, or I would probably main phase Malcolm if I did that, because that's a chance to buff it. All right, I will activate Jace, loot away this island, and now I can try to minus Phoenix, but Giver of Runes is here, or I could cast Stock Up out of here. All right, I am going to cast Stock Up. I think we just gotta rip. Mana Drain, Psychic Frog. Well, Psychic Frog is about as good as it gets. Children's Edict. All right. Frog and Edict are good. Frog is enormous and flies. Frog is also a potential 1-card win condition with any wheel that I draw. If I wheel, discard my hand, wheel, discard my hand, move to combat profs, that could be 20 damage all at once. They can use Giver to push 2 damage through, but I can block whichever creature they don't give protection to. They're protecting Nia, attacking me and Jace. Well, Frog, I'd like you to fly. Exile, exile, and exile. Leave Force of Will and Ponder in the graveyard. Block Detective's Phoenix. There's still only 3 evidence in there, and Jace lives on. And Giver's tapped, which means I can actually debuff Nia with Jace effectively. I'm prepared to discard any number of cards it takes to keep Psychic Frog alive here. Adeline, okay. That one's in. And then we go to my turn. Mana Crypt. Well, that's dangerous in this spot, but not bad. Can Psychic Frog afford to attack? Probably not. What is the correct sequence? Every card I have access to is an instant. So I'm going to debuff Adeline, play Island, play Mana Crypt, and pass. Okay, so I have a potentially large blocker in Psychic Frog. I can protect things with Counterspell. I have an instant speed blocker. I can generate a 2/2 colorless creature. I can change the size of Adeline. All right, before combat, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. Okay, Nia's gone. As expected, Adeline is a 0/4. Pass into combat. If Adeline attacks, I'm going to double block with Saga and Psychic Frog. They're up to 5 evidence. All right, Adeline's attacking. I will make a construct. You get a 1/1. This can be attacking me or Jace. Me is, I think, the right answer. I think I'm actually going to block like this. This stops me from taking any damage. I can't kill Adeline anyway because of Giver of Runes, so let me just take 0 damage and wash out the turn, and then we go to my turn. This also doesn't give them any evidence to collect, but it does leave Giver untapped into my turn. Sarah Paragon, I'm pretty sure, is unbeatable. I'll counter that. I know Chromatic Star is near the bottom of my deck. I'm not going to accidentally draw it with Urza Saga, or before Urza Saga can tutor it. Jace can give Sheoldred's Edict flashback this turn. They do appear to be collecting evidence. They now have enough evidence to bestow if they want to. Okay. That happens. It's a pretty big one. Flying in haste on that now. These are big Mana Crypt flips. Lost. Draw Zagoth Triome. Make a construct. Tutor Chromatic Star. Jace. I'm going to cast Sheoldred's Edict from my graveyard. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to sack Giver of Runes. How did I know? A Chromatic Star. I'm going to float a black, and I'm going to sack this pre-combat. Ooh. That actually matters. Malcolm can chump Adeline. All right, I'm going to play Zagoth Triome as a land. Beginning of combat. Put a +1 counter on Psychic Frog. I think it just has to be Frog. They have so many cards in their hand. I don't feel good. Skyclave Apparition. Tough crowd. Okay, so Psychic Frog's going to be gone. And so are my hopes and dreams. Malcolm can chump. All right, chump the flyer, eat the 1/1. And one of the wheels to make Prof's memory lethal. All right, I'm going to have to dig through time and find the goods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards exiled. I did find a wheel. I'll take it. And what else can I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically nothing. I guess I just put a card in my hand for fun. And then land, Time Spiral. Can even play around Mana Tithe. I drew a bunch. I cannot remove this Adeline. It's 1 too big. Gotta consider. Ponder. Oh no. I guess I'll take it. It's another look. Ponder. Displacer Kitten. That card is not good enough. Though the Mightstone. We're a little behind. I'm gonna shuffle this. Yeah, Bloodstained Mire is definitely not it. I will move to combat. target one of these for a trillion counters. It's not even lethal. They don't even have to block. That's so funny. All right, I will give them the opportunity to make a mistake here. They figured it out. I've got nothing. I had nothing all along. The draft is over. -5, the Skyclave. And this makes them have a creature, a pump spell, or a burn spell in their fresh 7-card hand. All right, go. They have something. GG's. And the draft is over because that's how best of one works. Deeply unsatisfying, honestly. Flame Slash, Aether Spellbomb, Dress Down, maybe even Upheaval. These are all cards I would have used in my sideboard, for sure. Misclicked into the wrong thing. I genuinely had no fun playing Magic this way, where you just hope your game 1 hand is better than their game 1 hand, and then you get to make no decisions and no adjustments, and it's no best out of 3. If they just have turn 1 Ragavan, that's the experience you get against this opponent. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Which means I have to do another one of these. I'll probably drop this on a Saturday. I can't put this out as actual content because I don't believe it's actually Magic the Gathering. We did get a cube draft out of it, though. If you like the drafting portion, that's still fully intact. If you like the gameplay portion, sorry. But enjoy this bonus league that'll come out outside of my normal release schedule, and then I will have to play another one of these. So this will not be the last cube draft I ever do. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.